Hello everybody, welcome. Sorry for that. I'm like sitting here watching the go live button and it's like grayed out and I'm not able to click on it. It's driving me nuts. Anyway, we are finally here. So hello, welcome. I hope that you can actually hear me today. So please let me know if you can hear me in the chat because I don't want to spend 5 minutes talking to myself again. Watching that replay was awkward. So welcome on this Tuesday evening, a little bit earlier than normal. Figured I'd see how that suits some of you guys, if you guys prefer having it slightly early or earlier. Okay, good, you can hear me, which is great. So yeah, slightly earlier than what we were doing last time, just to make sure that everything is live. So welcome. I see Charisse is there, Gerard's there, Andrea's there, Miranda's there, Marina, Kirsty. Hello everybody. I love having you guys here, and I hope that we get more people coming in throughout the stream. So obviously, you know from the title and the thumbnails and everything else, we're going to be comparing the Cameo 4 and the Cricut Maker. So what I'm going to start off with, obviously I have, Silhouette Studio open, but I'm also going to be opening up Cricut Design Space. That was for a reel that I'm going to be sharing sometime soon. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to set up this design in both places, and then we're going to cut them on many different kinds of card. So I've got some heavy, so I've got some thick card. I'll show it to you all when we're moving over to the other camera. But Janelle's there, Sonia's there, Robbie's there. Hi everybody, lovely to have you. Lovely to have you. And then of course we're going to be, I still haven't oiled my chair, can you believe it? And then of course we're going to be, popping a little bit of champagne a little later, because I'm officially monetized as of yesterday. So I'm super excited that that's now happened. Simone, hi mom. Gina's here as well. So it's lovely to have you guys all here. So the designs that I've chosen for these cards, I've specifically chosen kind of intricate designs because obviously we want to make sure that we're getting all of the corners. Like in Silhouette Studio, you have overcut and then you have all these kinds of settings that can work nicely, but if you're not 100% right with them, then they may not work. And the only papery type material that I've actually cut on the Cricut has been paper, which has just been actually this butterfly pastel paper. It's an 80 GSM paper, but I've actually got a couple of different ones. Like again, I said I'm going to show you on the other side, but I've got 250 GSM paper, or not really paper, it's more like cardstock. And then I've got 180 GSM cardstock, I think it is, the American something or others. So we're going to be testing quite a few. Hi Christine, lovely to have you. No problem. So yeah, so we're going to start with the setup. Just quickly go through the setup. So page. Now what I've actually done is I've actually pre-cut some of these. These are kind of A5 because obviously it's a nice card size. So I'm going to be setting these up for A5. So I'm actually going to be taking that one off because we're only going to be cutting one of them. And these are Divine cards that I actually got from the Silhouette Design store. They are the fold and tuck cards. So much fun to do. So we're going to be going through that as well. So I'm going to be changing the media size to A5 and then just resizing this so that it fits. It doesn't quite fit into A5, this particular design. So I mean, you could theoretically just extend it a little bit. It's not the nicest because then, it doesn't look as nice, but let's just see. I'm sure it would work. Or should we just keep it the same height and just make the card a little bit shorter? I think we're going to do that. We'll just make the card a little bit shorter, cut a little bit off. Or we can actually even just click the center in page button and just have it centered on the page. Then it'll look a little bit weird, I'm not going to lie, but we can then at least top and tail it if we want to. Okay, so what I'm going to do now for this, I'm actually going to make this line, yeah, let's make it 1 point, because I want to import this into Cricut Design Space. Let's see if I can do that. I'm still a complete idiot when it comes to Cricut Design Space, but luckily it's fairly easy to use. Let's actually just make that a tiny bit smaller so that we can cut, because I see that the outline, it's actually going to be cutting the outline as well. So that's cutting very close to the edge of the page, but let's see. Okay, so I'm going to save this somewhere to my desktop. And I'm going to say it's Livestream tuck card. And I'm actually going to be saving this as an SVG file so that we can import it into Cricut Design Space quite easily, because then it'll be a little bit better. Hi, Sean. Thank you very much for saying congratulations on being a monetized channel. I'm I'm so glad that I'm an inspiration to you in your side hustle. I think it's, especially at getting monetized on YouTube, like it's a grind. I mean, I've been working tirelessly at it for like 9 months, pretty much the same time as a woman would, you know, create another human being. So it's quite crazy. So in Cricut Design Space, I've just clicked on the I'm still getting so used to this Cricut Design Space, because obviously I'm not used to it at all. So I just clicked on the new project and now I've made it hang. Anyway, I'm going to click on upload, and then I'm going to upload an image, browse, and then we're going to go to desktop and Livestream tuck card. There we go. Okay, so obviously it's an SVG, which I forgot about, my bad. It pulls in all of these other elements as well. So let's just delete all of those. Let's resave it as an SVG. Livestream tuck card, okay, yes, replace. And then cancel, upload, browse, Livestream card, import. There we go. Okay, that's right. So I hope that you followed all of that. That was just me quickly repairing my mistake. And then we're going to upload that into Design Space. The camera is a bit high. Yes, but it's because it can't reach being above my monitor. Just because it's just where it is, unfortunately. Like in order to have it there, I have to have it plugged into a different place on my computer. Okay, so now we click on the image and we go insert image, and then it'll insert it into the Design Space. Now I just would like to double check the sizes. So it's 20.5 and that's 13.1, because I'm still, like I said, I'm still a bit of an idiot when it comes to Design Space. So, I mean, I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing all the time. 20.583, 20.569. Interesting. Okay, it doesn't really matter. It's roughly the same size, so that's all right. How is Fred doing? Fred, I actually took the cone of shame off yesterday, just because his wound is healed so well. And then he decided that, you know, because we've been keeping him cooped up in the house for too long, he's been able to go out, but he only came home at like 11:30 last night. And there's me, you know, panic mom, standing at the balcony door, like calling him quietly, trying not to wake the neighbors, like, Fredness, come. No, he was gallivanting the whole of last night. It was quite funny. Anyway, so I'm going to, but yes, thank you very much for asking. He's doing very well. He is very stoked. Okay, so I'm going to save this, and I'm going to say Livestream card, and I'm not going to save it to any collection. Now, the reason why I'm saving it is because I have an iPad, and you can you can open everything on the app, like just similar to what you can with Silhouette Go. Haven't really played around with Silhouette Go very much, but the Cricut app is fantastic. It's like leagues ahead of the Silhouette app, I'm not going to lie. Anyway, so let's switch over to this camera over here, and then we can start setting up the mats, which I kind of wish that I'd gotten ready ahead of time. But let's move this over, and then you can look at my beautiful face for a little bit while I switch over the stream. Overhead camera. Oh, there we go. Okay. So, and now I've just got to double check that. Okay, that's a little bit better. As with every stream, there's always problems just before you go live. So, sorting out tons of things before I went live was quite fun. It's never a dull moment when you're doing a live stream. But the camera angle seems good. I can actually, I've got you guys set up here as well. Shame, Numi. Can believe your nerves were shot. Glad he's doing better. Yeah, especially because he's still got a bit of a scab. So I'm just worried that he like scratches it. Because I mean, obviously you all know when you're healing, it's very itchy. So I was just concerned that was going to happen. But luckily, fingers crossed, holding thumbs, it hasn't happened yet. So what we're going to be testing, like I mentioned, is I've got this cardstock, or this card, which is pretty much the thickest card that I have, which is this. It's actually not meant for cards or anything like that, but it is mixed media paper. So you can use this for, you know, all of these things, acrylic, watercolor, pastel, whatever. I like using it for my cards because it's a 250 GSM. Problem with this, I've actually taken the price off, or the price was at the bottom here. No. Anyway, I got this from P&A, super expensive stuff. I think it's like 400 Rand or something like that for this sheet. But there's 40 sheets in it, 40 sheets, and they are A2. So if you're doing A5 cards, you know, you can get 4 cards out of 1 page. So it's really worth it for me, I think. So I don't mind too much. And then the other one that we have is this American card. The AC cardstock, right? Which you can see there. That's essentially this card that we're using. You can actually also get this from Snippy Sisters. They're selling this now. It works. It's really nice card. I really like it. So that's this one, the 12 by 12s. We've got 2 of those. And oh, here I am forgetting to bring my mic with me. Why didn't you tell me I forgot to bring my mic? Glad Fred is doing better. Thank you. Yeah, me too. I was very worried about him, and obviously I don't have kids to worry about, so he is my kids. Okay, so we've got the 250 GSM. This one, and I packed it away without checking the GS image. I feel like I'm being blind. I'm pretty sure it's 120 GSM, or 100, maybe it's 180. 180 GSM or something like that. You can also get them in the bulk packs of 500. Hi, Steph. Hi, Lily. Hi, Kitty, as well. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. It's great to have you here. Have all of you here. Okay. So I actually also got this in the Ambassador Cutie crate that they sent me. Cricut also sent me this cutter. It's really nice. I've now got 3 cutters like this, but this one's very nice. It's got a scoring board as well. And it's always nice to have a cutter with a new blade, because we all know the feeling when we put a new blade on. Oh, it's amazing. Okay. And then the other things that I have, I'm doing very well, Kitty. Thank you very much for asking. Very excited to be live again tonight, which is quite fun. But yeah. Flying visit does need to pick up your daughter from dance. Oh, okay, no problem. Thank you very much for joining us. I appreciate it. Okay, so this is obviously my iPad. I'm still, like I said, I'm still a little bit dwarf when it comes to using it sometimes, but I'll get used to it eventually. And let's check. So what happens when you're on the iPad? You can then open up Cricut Design. Okay, now I got to time out, sign back in again because it was open like yesterday. Sign in. Oh wait, no, you got to do this. There we go, and close it. You sometimes got to close it and then you can open it again and then it'll sign you in. What a lovely iPad. I love my iPad. It's probably one of my favorite things that I've bought this year. Okay, so we're not going to go to new projects. We're going to go to categories and then my projects in the cloud because that Livestream card I've then saved there. So we can open that and then let's go customize. So now what you can do with this is you can, when it comes to using the Silhouette Go app, you can pretty much just resize things on the app, which is a little bit not that nice. But with the Cricut design or with the Cricut design space or whatever you want to call it, when you go to make, which, yeah, so you can actually, well, within the canvas section, sorry, you can actually add things. So you can add in, I'm a bit, like I said, I'm a bit docile when it comes to this. Let's add in some shapes. So we can go add in an octagon if we want, you know, resize it, add in some text. You can really kind of go nuts with the design. Let's just remove that. And this sizing is then still good. So we're going to leave that as is. And then we can start setting up our mats. So I'm just going to grab my Silhouette mat. Yes, I never mind that this particular app is incredible. Procreate. It's just like I've done so much drawing and designing and things like that on this app. It's so therapeutic as well. I love it. I love it so much. Yeah, it's great. It's a lot of fun. Okay, so I'm just going to grab my mats. So this is the light grip. Okay, that's the Cricut mat. And then we have the Silhouette mat. I agree, Christine. The iPad and the pen, like I've got the iPad Air 4. So I mean, I definitely wasn't going to go for the Pro because, in my opinion, I'm not going to lie, I want one. I really want one, but they're just far too expensive at this point. So maybe at some point in the future I can justify getting one, but not yet. Not at this point. I'm not making money off this. Is pretty much just a toy at this point. There are obviously plans for me to make money off it, or not make money off it, but use it to create things to make money. I'm not going to say anything else. But, well, I'm not going to say anything else at this point, rather. Soon, hopefully. But, yeah. At some point I'll get the better one. But then the Apple Pencil 2. I got the Apple Pencil 2, which is great. And it charges like that, which I think is practically a game changer for me. Okay, so we're going to start with the setup of the paper. We're going to do the heavy cardstock first, just because I'm keen to see that one. Or actually, so we've obviously got 250, 180, and whenever I get it out the thingy, 80 GSM. Which one would you guys like me to start with? Do you want me to start with the light, the medium, or the heavy paper? So just let me know in the chat, and then we can get started. I'm just going to take off all of these things. Both Kirsty and Christine say heavy. Okay. Anybody else? Oh, Simone says light. But we've got 2 for heavy and 1 for light. So let's see what happens. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just cut these down a little bit. Kirsty, yes. I was making some those alcohol ink thingies like I normally do, and obviously the alcohol ink got on the bottom, and only when I pulled it off did I realize that it actually transferred. It's still perfectly sticky though. It's just changed the color, so I'm not too phased. Although I was a little bit bummed because like it's a brand new mat. I mean, whatever. Okay, we've got 5 votes for heavy, 1 vote for light. So I think that means that we're gonna go with heavy. So then I'm not gonna worry about cutting for now. Okay. Now let's also start off with no tape. So this mat is also relatively new. As you can see, I haven't used it very much. This mat's used slightly less, but not drastically less as what this one has been used. That's also a light grip, and this is a normal grip. So let's just place it there. So theoretically, we shouldn't have to use any tape. Theoretically. I'm just going to move this up there and bring this down there. Okay, just so that I don't knock that, because it's never nice when it's knocked. Move the paper over there. Take this mat. Now I'm going to do them one by one as well. So make sure that we're putting the correct side. This is the slightly softer side, or the slightly smoother side. You also, maybe if you're super observant, you'll notice that I put the Cricut one slightly inside of the lines, and it shouldn't make too much of a difference, but you'll see why in a moment. The design space is set up slightly differently to how Silhouette Studio is. Almost the same, but there's obviously there's a slightly bigger border on the edge of what you can't cut. I think it's like 0.1 of an inch or something like that. Alright, so we're going to start with the Cricut. And I can actually just move the camera, because I've now done a little bit fancier way of MacGyvering my camera. So let's see how this is going to work. Probably should have tested it beforehand. Oops, sorry that I dropped you. Story of my life. This is what happens when you MacGyver things. Okay, let's angle you slightly further down. And now you're slightly skew. No, now I'm making it more skew. I still need to like design and 3D print a better camera stand thing. I totally should just use the other. Okay, hold on. I'll switch you over in a second to the slightly easier to manage tripod. There we go. Okay. One thing you've seen of those guides is the guides for the Cricut for the mat. I'm obsessed with them. I think it looks so beautiful. The guides, they are great. Sound might also get a little bit quiet because I'm a little bit further away. Kind of, my Cricut is on the one side of the room, if you can even see me. My Cricut is on the one side of the room and the Cameo is on the other. So just to kind of keep my room a little bit more organized. Maybe if when eventually I move into the next house, I'll have a slightly better space. But let's see for now. Okay. Move that slightly forward. out of the way. And then, I don't know about you, but this is probably one of my favorite things about the Cricut, just how it looks when it opens. I just love that. I love that. It's so cute. And then, of course, in my Cricut, I've got this little tray. This little tray thingy that I've 3D printed, which is also really cute. That's the rotary blade. Obviously, when I get more blades, it'll be more filled up, but that's what it looks like for now. So it's quite cute. All right. So what we do is we go into Design Space again, and we click on Make It. And then what we're going to do is we're going to, so you see, maybe if I turn it that way, it'll be a bit easier. So you see here how there's quite an offset from the edge of the mat as to where you can actually cut. So it's almost like you need to make sure that that's actually, you know, in the correct space, because if we had put it, I mean, even with where it's set up now, like that 21 centimeters is quite far off to the side. So I almost need to make like triply sure that it's not going to, you know, cut off. So I'm just going to measure it quickly. Yeah, you see. Well, you can't see yet. This is very awkward. I probably should have left the camera as it was. Okay. So you see here, it's actually the edge of the paper is almost exactly at 21. So that one on the machine, on Design Space, it's just past 21. So we need to make sure that, and you literally can't move this any further. Like that's as far as it goes. But what you can do with the Cricut, which I'm going to attempt now, but like I said, I'm still, you know, a bit of an idiot when it comes to the Cricut, so I don't always get it right, but let's try, is the snap mat feature. Cameo 4 has a garage door effect. Yeah, it totally does. So with the snap mat, you can only do it if you have an iPad. You click on the snap mat and then it'll take a photo. You essentially take a photo of the mat. So let's see if this works. Because like I said, it doesn't, I struggle with it. Maybe I'm just off. It takes me far too long to do the snap mat thing. So if I don't get it in like the next 5 or 10 seconds, then there we go. Yay, that's like probably quite literally the quickest that I've ever done it. Okay, so there's an actual picture of the mat. You can see there's the alcohol ink stain and everything. And then we're going to click use. And then you can see exactly where the cardstock is on the mat. So you can see here how it's actually going off to the side. So we either need to make it a bit smaller, or we just need to move our cardstock further to the right. So I think I'm just going to move the cardstock. Yeah. Okay. And again, I probably should have done all of this with the overhead camera. Okay. So I just moved it over by like a few millimeters. And I'm going to quickly try the snap mat feature again. I think mostly the reason why I'm using the snap mat feature is because it's new and why not? Oh wow, okay, that was even faster this time. So there's the new thingy. I'm going to click use. I didn't move it over enough. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to decrease the size a teensy tiny a little bit, but like fractionally. So I'm going to go back to the canvas. That is such an awesome feature. I wish Silhouette would up their app game. I completely agree with you, Kirsty. And I think that this is going to sound really horrible, but having used the Cricut so much, canvas. Having used the Cricut so much, it kind of makes me a little bit sour about the fun things for the Cricut that Silhouette doesn't have, although sometimes the Cricut things don't have, like this one's like hanging now. Let's actually just, let's close it and open it again. I think I'm trying to do too many things too quickly. Could we 3D print guides for the Cameo 4? I'm sure you could 3D print some guides for the Cameo 4. I've seen somebody has a 3D printed guide for the Cameo Pro, the Cameo 4 Pro, but I don't think that they have one for the normal one, because the Cameo 4 Pro, I think it has like a knobby, like a little thingy on the side. What is going on? I think it's maybe the pencil that's, or maybe it's the pencil that's not working quite like a. Okay, let's customize it. Keep previous. Okay, so I just want to resize it a little bit, so I'm just going to make it teeny tiny, a little bit smaller. Like quite literally just a fraction smaller. And then we go make it, and then I'm going to do the snap mat again, because apparently I'm getting good at it now. Yeah, I nailed it. It literally never goes this well when I'm by myself. When I think I was recording a reel the other day. Did I not turn my thingy? Anyway, it's fine. I was recording a reel the other day, and I tell you, it must have taken me 15 minutes to try and get the snap mat thing. Like, not joking. Anyway, so we now have our design, you know, perfectly on the screen. You can see there. It's perfectly on the edge. It looks good. And we can start cutting. So what we do now is we click continue. We wait a couple seconds. And then you wait a couple more, anyway. And now we got to set the material. So now this might be the tricky part, because they only go up to 176 GSM, and we are using 250 GSM. So this is quite a bit heavier than that paper. So what we can do is we can go cardstock, and so here, let's see if this works now. No, maybe something wrong with my pencil. Anyway, so here it actually says pressure, so you can actually increase the pressure. So hopefully, if we change the pressure to heavy or something like that, let's see what the options are. More, default, or less. So we can put it onto more pressure, and then hopefully that'll cut through. Now this paper setting will probably be perfect for the AC cardstock, but obviously because we're using heavier cardstock, we'll need to use the more pressure. So I've selected more pressure, and then I'm not going to select more, remember material settings, because we might not always be using the same one. So let's click on, so now we load the tools in, load tools and mat, it says. So we can go to our Cricut. Oh, I'm busy moving the stand and the camera's not moving because the cable is stuck. I'm like, what's going on? Okay, so this button is flashing here. So we load this into these little, I know you guys spoke about the guide. Oh, sorry. I know you guys spoke about the little guides here. They are so cute. So cute. And those like feed the mat into it. It's adorable. Let's just move that out of the way. Okay, so we feed the mat in. Okay. And then we click, once it's ready, then the little QT button, the little C QT button starts flashing. And then we press that one. And then we hope that it works. Like I said, I've never actually cut this cardstock with the Cricut before, so it's going to be quite interesting. Also, note how much quieter it is than the Cameo. It's actually lovely. This is starting to feel like an ad for a Cricut, but it's really not. I'm enjoying the differences. Let's put it that way at the moment. There are lots of things that the Cameo does so right, but it's nice to have some different one. Hello, Flutter 3YE. Okay, now I'm going to be catching up on some of the messages. You love how they look. Much more aesthetically pleasing than the silhouette. I'm not going to lie, I completely agree with you. I think I cannot wait to get my hands on a Maker 3. Hopefully we'll have some by the end of the year. So let's see. Cameo, garage door effect, yeah. It's such an awesome feature. Oh yes, yeah, up their app game. They really do need to up their app game. Remember guys, if you are enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up. Helps the algorithm, helps the exposure to the channel, which is quite cool. Thank you in advance. I see that there, oh, another like, yay. Thank you very much to those of you that have already liked the video, very much. Yeah, I know, I was just kidding. Flatter by, I know. Thank you. So we can actually start setting up the Cameo one, or, because I don't want to reveal that one too much until the Cameo one is done. So I'm just going to turn on the Cameo and load the mat, because, well, that one's pretty much done anyway. Okay, well, and then of course I have a little notification on my iPad to say I'm done, which is pretty cool. So let's switch on over to the other side of the room when we have the Cameo. So I'm just going to turn you guys there, and I'm exposing my room because it's super dirty. I might actually be able to move you guys somewhere else, and then I'll just move that. Because now I've just dumped everything over here. So let's just move that under there. I also forgot to mention that you can actually put the iPad on top of the machine, which is pretty cool. Not really with this cover that I have, because the cover's a bit thick. But it's okay. Okay. Now we're going to turn the Cameo. Let me see what you're looking at. Okay, let's just move you over there. Great. Okay, let's move this a little bit more forward and out the way. It's my ring light. Okay, so we're going to load this into the Cameo. And then we are just going to send this on the Cameo. Let me just transition you guys here. So I'm obviously going to be looking that way, so I apologize. We're going to send this to cut. I'm not going to change it to cardstock plain. You see, that's also the nice thing about the Cameo, is that you can kind of play around with it a lot to get the super perfect cut. I don't think I have this paper set up, so we might just have to go with cardstock textured heavy. I almost want to do a test cut, but then I kind of don't. let's just double check to see that there's no other cardstock. You see that's £105 and this is £135 cover stock. So even if we had to go, she's like blade 7, that seems a tad excessive. Just want to double check. I've cut this, like I said, I've cut this I think quite a few times with my Cameo before, but I can't remember which settings I used. It's only 42 millimeters thick, the paper, the cardstock paper. So I'm definitely going to put it on blade of 7. I think a blade of 7 is complete overkill. Blade of 5 would probably work. Force of 33, speed. Let's up that to 3. Let's leave it on 4. No, let's do 3. And that's, again, the advantage of having the Cameo, that you can play around with the settings to make sure that you're getting everything correct. And then I'm going to turn overcut on because there's lots of little corners. So we're going to send that one to cut. Notice the sound difference between the two. I definitely wasn't going to run them both at the same time. So while that one cuts, I'm just going to check. So cool watching it cut away. Oh, Gwyneth, yes. The Maker is a beauty. I'm not going to lie. I absolutely love it. Really, really loving having that machine. And I had to temporarily make space for the Maker because I obviously had the Cameo 3 in my room. I realized you guys are still looking at the computer and you're not actually looking at the Cameo cutting. My bad. Oh, for a second there I thought I didn't do the right cardstock on both, and then I realized that I did, so that's fine. I've seen someone stick little wheels under their machines to be able to easily move it around. Just thought about that when you pulled your Cameo closer. I've seen that for both of them, for both the Cameo and the Cricut. Put little, like, gesturing with my hands. It's so noisy. It's so noisy. That and the app are probably the two main reasons why I would continue using the Cricut. Anyway, little double-sided tape with little... Also just realized that you guys are looking over there. It's stressful. All these things that I've got to remember about the live stream. What was I saying? No, I can't remember what I was saying. Oh, the suction cups and the little wheels. Yeah, a little double-sided tape underneath. Move them backwards and forwards. I'm not such a fan of that. Because what happens if it starts moving while it's cutting or something like that? I don't know. I suppose if you're moving them in and out a lot, then it makes a lot of sense. It looks like it's cutting quite well. So let's see. I probably could move you guys a little bit closer and unplug the power. There we go, it's not too bad. And then eventually I'll get some more of these army things. They're like, I've got my microphone on one, and then this little smorgasbord of thingies adjusting for my overhead camera. I need to design and 3D print an adapter that I can just plug the camera in there, and then get one for my lights as well. It's easier than having a tripod. Connect it up to this little stand thingy that I've got. Getting little wheels with a brake on them. Yes, I thought about that, but I don't think you get teeny tiny little wheels with brakes on them. I'm not sure. I mean, in all honesty, it would probably be fine. It would probably work out perfectly, but I don't know. Not sure how much of a fan I am. So what's everybody up to tonight? I see we've got 24 concurrent viewers, which is amazing. It's busy doing its final pass, and then we can do the comparison. I can 3D print them, but then I need to design it because I've tried to find a design for it. And I can design it on my iPad using... Oh, it was 2 passes. That's going to stuff up my mat. I didn't notice that. I'm just watching this thing go over 2 passes and I'm like, no. Okay, so that's done. So let's unload this. Okay. And I'm going to unload the Cricut, and I'm going to move you guys back up here so that you can see above. Okay, see how easy that was when you have it right. Okay, so now we've got both of them cut. They both seem to have cut quite well. Obviously this one was on 2 passes, so potentially, you know, a little bit unfair, as the Cricut also only did 1 pass. But let's see. Okay, tell me which one you want me to take off first. Do you want me to take off the Cameo first or the Cricut? Let me know. Let's see what you guys are having dinner, having steers, drinking some beer and watching my video. Thank you. You guys are also having dinner. Lily says put rocks in front of them. Oh, we've got one for the Cricut, one for the Cameo. Cameo, 2 for the Cameo, 1 for the Cricut. Okay, this is quite nail-biting stuff, guys. Granted, I think maybe what I might do for the Cameo as well is I might do 1 on 1 pass. Because like I said, I didn't notice that the that was on 2 passes. So it might be slightly unfair. Do you guys think I should redo it on 1 pass for the Cameo? Let me know. Now let's take our weeding tool and lift it. Okay, slight corner hook. I should just move that over there. Okay, so we've got Cricut, Cameo, 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 Cricut, Cameo, Cameo, Cricut, Cameo, Cameo, Cricut, Cameo. Okay, so pretty much the Cameo wins. So we're gonna do the Cameo first. Okay. We can do both. We can do, see, because I mean, in all honesty, part of the advantage of having a silhouette is being able to use the software. Ooh. Okay, so with 2 passes, this is what comes off of the mat. There's obviously a few things left on the mat. Let's just scrape them off. But we can see how many little thingies are still left on the mat. When you're doing this, don't press it too hard. I've done it before where I've like ripped off some of the adhesive. Being a little bit overzealous. Okay, so that's a little bit... Okay, while we're looking at this, let me send it again on 1 pass, because this is exactly why I cut lots of extra little pieces of paper, just in case I did something like this. Okay. So at least then we can, while we're busy doing everything else, we can compare the 1 pass versus the 2 passes. Okay. That's now going on 1 pass. That shouldn't be too long. Cherie says your son has COVID, so we're self-isolating. Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that. That's really... Is he doing well? I'm sending him all my love, because that can't be very fun at all. The blade that I'm using on my Cameo is the auto blade. I mean, these parts are coming off quite easily, right? Look at that. I mean, there are tiny little bit of stay on the inside. I'm one of the lucky few that's not had any problems with the auto blade. Luckily. So let's just take all of these thingies off. It's a little bit labor intensive, but it's not the end of the world. This is when you have lots of these things, it's a bit of a pain. Yeah, I can't imagine having the illness at this point. Must not be very fun at all. I really hope he's doing well. Yeah, the Cameo's noisy again. Sorry. Okay, so that's cut. Oh, one little pie piece left. Okay, so that took us a little bit, but at least it's all weeded out. Okay, now it's almost done. Now let's take a look at the Cricut. Again, bearing in mind that this was not the right setting for the Cricut either. I don't think it's even cut through. Maybe we need more pressure or like a double pass on the Cricut too. Because this is obviously not really the right paper. Okay, so it hasn't cut right the way through for that. But I'd like to actually see what would happen if we use a different setting. Because obviously, like, we're all, me in particular, quite new to the Cricut. So the paper and things like that I've cut have been spectacular. But you can see it hasn't really cut anything off. The Cameo's done. On the other one, obviously you can hear that by the pure silence. Okay, so this is only one pass. Okay, that did a pretty good job. CB09, only later versions of the... No, CB09 you can use from versions from Cameo 1. You can just use it... Cameo 1 to 3, you can use it without any adapters. Cameo 4, you have to use an adapter. That's the only difference. Okay, so this one also cut quite nicely, as you can see. Poking all the holes through. So what I want to try is I want to try a different setting on the Cricut, just to see what kind of... I mean, all of the other cuts that I've done on the Cricut have been superb on their default setting. Granted, it's a brand new machine, brand new blade, all of that. They really have been incredible. And I literally have no idea what I'm going to do with all these cards when I'm done. So, well, we'll see. But anyway, let me just check that I haven't... wondering if one pass is a good idea, seeing you having to remove those. Yeah, there's not terribly, as you can see, there's not terribly much of a difference. I think it's more just the corners that get stuck, like there. Even though we've got overcut on, didn't really make too much of a difference. But I wanted to kind of give it a little bit of an even comparison, even though it's difficult to compare these kinds of things, especially when you're changing the settings, you know, because I'm pretty sure that if we had to cut this on the Cameo at the same cardstock settings as what we did with this one on the Cricut, you'd probably have the exact same result. So let's try another one on the Cricut. Okay, so again, put that a little bit further in. And then we're going to try it again. Why didn't you want the 2 passes? I just wanted to compare the 1 pass versus 1 pass, just so that it was a little bit slightly more even. So let's try Software will be installed tonight. Great, thank you. See now, I don't know why my pencil's not working. Maybe I can only use one Bluetooth device at a time. Maybe. Which is weird. Like I said, I'm not really connected. It says it's connected. I dropped it on the floor yesterday. Was that a problem? Let's check quickly. Okay, well, let's see. Anyway, where can we get that SVG for the card? So I got it on Design Space, Silhouette Design Store. It's one of the fold tuck cards. They are beautiful. We can put it together in a moment. What I want to try is, see, these ones I think you would need to have a different blade. See, that's the rotary blade. So we don't have the rotary blade. Foil poster board. See, this is probably the one problem that I have with the Cricut, is that if you're okay, it says chat disconnected. So if I don't reply to a message that you sent, I apologize. This is probably the one problem that I have with the Cricut, is that if you are struggling to cut a particular material, you're gonna struggle regardless. Unable to connect to chat. Please try again later. No, my pencil is definitely not flat. Let me just refresh this page. I don't know why it's giving me problems. It's at 90%. I'll restart the iPad later and it'll probably work. I have my laptop here and I'm just trying to read all your chats and things like that, because my computer's behind me, but it didn't want to connect to the chat. Okay, there we go. It's working. Yeah, the CB09 is a great blade, Christine. It's really, really nice. Okay, I've already answered the CB09 for later versions. No issues with the auto blade, me neither. I've had great things with all of my auto blades. I've been very lucky. I know it can work on a Cameo 3, but before that I don't know. Yeah. Okay, I've already answered the 2 passes. Pencil's not flat. Shame, thanks guys. He's doing well so far. He's an awesome immune system for a 10-year-old. That's fantastic. That's really, really good. But we are very lucky. Just to keep everyone else healthy is a freaking mission. Shame. I can only imagine. I have my earphones connected to my iPad right now via Bluetooth, and my pencil's still working. Then it must be just, like I said, I'm a bit scared because I dropped it on the floor yesterday. So, but it's fine. Okay, so back to the Design Space, and I also think that it's after 8, which means that it's after bedtime for most kiddos. So I think while we talk about this, I'm actually going to open the champagne to have some. I'm also feeling a little bit parched. Let's just open that there. And this is one of those screw off caps, I think. Yay! That was a little bit less exciting than what I thought it was going to be. I'm not going to lie. I thought it would have like a little pop. Anyway, so I've got a little champagne glass. Like they say, you know, you should celebrate everything. And I think that this is a particular milestone. I am obviously over 18 years old. I drink responsibly. Not to persons under the age of 18. Okay. So, and you see, that's why you don't, kids, that's why you don't want to drink, because then you might hurt yourself. I just gave myself a little paper cut. Anyway, so cheers. Here's to finally being monetized after such a long time. Oh, that's nice and sweet. That's nice and sweet. Not such a fan of dry champagne, so I'm glad that that's nice and sweet. Okay, back to our regular scheduled programming. This is the one potential problem that I've kind of seen now with the Cricut. If you are struggling with something, the hardest that we can go, or the thickest that we can go, maybe let's try the foil poster board, because I see that these colors are like in varying shades of green, right? Which they might also want to think about like moving them around, because it should be copy paper, medium, light, cardstock. So that one's up to 216 GSM, so maybe let's try the medium. Let's try that. This is what happens when you've got hams for fingers. That's why I like using my iPad, my pencil, because I've got hams for fingers. So, okay, let's go there. Pressure default. Let's go pressure more. And let's go done. And then I can load it. I probably can actually just do this to you guys. If you want. You see, now I can't see because now I've opened something else. Okay, so then let's cut that. Oh, no. Pause. No. I'm being a chop. I'm cutting the wrong thing. Cancel. It's cutting that, which I didn't want it to cut. Okay. Anyway, let's try that again now that the crisis has been averted. See, maybe that's also something else that I am struggling with on design space, is how to use everything. So let's go layers. Okay. Let's go there. Let's delete that. No. Kelly. Hams for fingers, I tell you. Hams. Okay. Now I've deleted that line thingy that was in the middle there. And then let's go make. We're going to go to that one. We're going to go continue. We're selecting an accessory, which is Cameo. And then we're going to load it. It's not stuck down now. All that luckily. Let's just burnish that on a little bit more. Oh, no, everybody's... Sorry, I've only now just seen all the congratulations. I was so busy focused on what I was doing. Buy a stylus pencil on tape. I've actually got several. I've got these. They are non-connecting styluses. Styluses? Styli. I don't know. I think I got them from Amazon. I think it was about 230 Rand. I think I got 5 of them in a pack. It was great. Sippy, yay. Woohoo! Congratulations, thank you. Congrats. Cheers, cha-ching. What about your other pen? Yeah, I've got these ones. I use my knuckle on the tablet sometimes instead of a finger. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Tightening the nib of the pencil. Maybe I need to, like, I don't know, clean it. It's fine. Like I said, I'll switch it off and probably, have you tried turning it off and on again? You know, one of those kinds of situations. So it's probably that. Yeah, like Dre just said now. Hello, IT. Have you tried turning it off and on again? You know, one of those situations. The image of you is blurry. Yeah, I think it's because I'm connecting it to a different port. So it's not working so lekker. But let's try the 216 board. Pressure, we're going to change that to more. There we go, done. And then let's load. Right. Okay, now we go cut. Sounds like an ESCOM problem. Let's hope not. It's quite an expensive problem. Okay, so that's cutting. And again, difference in sound is astronomical for these two. So what else is everybody up to this evening? I know we pretty much only cut the heavy cardstock, so we could probably actually, maybe while that's busy, let me prep the medium cardstock. And I'm going to put that over there. It works better when it's not in a case like that, but that's a nice little slot for your phone or your whatever. Okay. So that's the two Cameos, and that's the Cricut. Testing the third Cricut now. Then I'm just going to put the whole piece of cardstock onto the mat. I'm going to put it shiny side, or not, because there's a normal side and then there's like a slightly textured side. I'm pretty sure you won't be able to see it in the camera. But I'm just going to put that down, shinier side up. Drinking tea and eating some cookies from Sunday night's baking. Ooh, lekker. That's why we got switched off. And on. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So that's on there. And then I'm going to load that into the Cameo. So now theoretically, what I can do is I can just click make it again. It says please load the next mat to continue. I think that's cut quite well. So let's unload it. Okay, let's bring you guys back up to sea level. Oh gosh. Y'all were sagging. This is why I need new tech. This tech's driving me nuts. And you're like slowly moving. And you're facing the other way. Okay. Sorry. There we go. That looks much better. Yes. Okay. Sorry for the moving around. I know I always get like, want to get motion sickness when that happens. So let's pull that off. Okay. That looks much better. Also getting very warm now. Okay, let's just pull that off. Okay. That looks good. Oh yeah, that was where I cut it accidentally with the first part. Okay, not bad. This is probably the worst cut that I've seen the Cricut do so far since I've had it. But even so, I mean, these are cutting well. I think also because I'm using completely you're not supposed to use this kind of cardstock for this kind of thing. So that's, again, where the Cameo kind of takes over in terms of superiority, purely because if you have non-standard materials, you can far more easily use them. But I'm not going to lie, all of the other cuts that I've done on the Cricut have been superior to the Cameo. The way that the vinyl cut, those kinds of things, it was fantastic. So it's a very good cut, this one. Pretty much maybe slightly worse than the Cameo. I feel like my phone is gonna like pop out of this thingy soon. I can hear it like slowly moving above me. There we go. Okay. Your camera is focused on the microphone and not you. Okay. So do you think that would be a bit better? Let's just see. I also think that my webcam is, like I said, it's not plugged into the right port, which means that it's not working properly, essentially. Champagne is heating. Yes, the champagne definitely is, because the moment that I started drinking it, I'm like, woo, body temperature skyrocketed. I also have my hair down, which is covering my neck, which means that I get a lot hotter than what I normally would. Okay, so all in all, I'd say with this cardstock, Cameo wins, hands down. But let's try it with the other cardstock. And in this case, what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to use standard settings for both of them. So let's try, first of all, just taking this stuff off. I really enjoy live streams. I think these are so much fun. Do any of you guys use or subscribe to anybody on Patreon? Are you familiar with Patreon? There's quite a few people that I subscribe to on Patreon. I really enjoy the behind the scenes things. It's quite fun. Maybe if I move the microphone up like that and like there, then it'll be better. And I could always take the thingy off the microphone, but it's fine. Okay. So I'm going to send the Cameo one to cut quickly. Let's just switch over to this screen. Again, you won't see me, sorry. Or you'll see the side of my head, my beautiful side profile. We're going to change this to cardstock textured heavy, 80 pounds, because I think, if I remember correctly, so let's actually just take a look quickly at Snippy Sisters' website. Okay, so suppliers, Snippy Sisters. And let's go to cardstock, AC textured cardstock. Because then I know that she'll probably say what texture it is. This is essentially the cardstock that it is. $216 GSM, 80 pounds. Okay, so that is exactly the kind of cardstock that's heavy 80-pound cardstock. So let's send this one to cut. I'm not going to change any settings. I'm going to leave that as is. Okay, then yummy cookies, camera focused on you. Dre will send you a bag with the parents next time they visit. Me too, please. Thank you. Champagne is heating me up. Yes, I want to subscribe. A lot of mods for Sims 4. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. I haven't done it yet, but I really like the concept of Patreon. I recently followed Art by Flo. She mentioned Patreon in one of her videos, but wanted to check it out, but I forgot because I genuinely have the memory of a carrot. I relate. Okay, let's send this to cut actually, and then come back here, and we can start working on this one somewhere. Let's just change the Change the camera again. Okay, so this is loaded. And now it's going to get really loud in here. Really loud. Okay. I'll put the pen all the way over there. Okay, so we're not going to do mat 2. Let's go cancel. Cancel. Cancel! Okay, I don't know why. It doesn't seem to like being closed screen and then reopened again. So it's almost like you've got to reopen it every time, which is a bit of a pain. Patreon is awesome to help everyone that can't give online classes, but must say Facebook supporter groups is also so user-friendly. Facebook supporter groups, would you mind? Oh, I accidentally clicked on something. Would you mind letting me know what that is? I've never heard of that before. Because I was, like, I'm not going to do Patreon at the moment, but in the future, it's definitely something that I want to look at doing. Just purely because I like to be able to engage with the community, like, on a more regular basis, and give you guys certain things like podcasts, you know, Zoom calls or Google Hangouts calls or something like that. So let's go, okay, wait, keep previous. So I think we made this one a little bit, the size actually doesn't matter anymore. So let's just go to layers and see, okay, that layer is still gone, which is, oh, but that was the cut layer. Let's see if I can undo, because that was obviously the feathers. How do I do this now? Go back. Go. See what I mean? I'm such an idiot when it comes to this thingy. So let's go customize. Let's go replace. Okay, so the size doesn't matter, and it's now got that line, but I don't actually want that line. That line is technically supposed to be a perforated line, which I don't think it came through as. So actually, I'm going to go back on my Word again, and I'm almost just going to delete it. Because I don't think there's a setting here for perforation. I think if I had welded that line and then saved it as an SVG, it would have worked. But because I didn't weld it, the line pattern was just on ... That's why that happened in Silhouette Studio. So that's a little bit of a pain. Go away. Okay, there we go. So let's just go make it. We can load this up. And then we can go continue. Oh, I'm with you now. Dare I ask what Patreon is? My top 5 people I follow don't have a Patreon. That sucks. Recently followed Art by Flo. She mentioned Patreon in a few of her videos. Oh, okay, Memory of a Carrot. Yeah. I feel you, girl. I feel you. Okay, so that's copy paper 75 GSM, £20, £65, and then that's £80. So let's go with a medium because that's exactly what it is. We're going to leave it on default. Not going to change the weighting of this. And then we're going to go make. Oh, we're already on make. I always make that mistake because I'm so used to sending it from the Cameo. So it's now loaded. So essentially, Patreon is a platform where creators can allow people to like sign up to them, and then they get benefits every month. So like as an example, you'll pay $2 a month, and then you'll get access to, you know, a private Discord channel with whatever chat groups and things like that, and you'll get a free monthly design or a monthly poll or whatever the case may be. And that's essentially what Patreon is. So let's just unload. And obviously the more you pay, the higher you go up in tier, which means the more kind of benefits that you could potentially get. Let's just unload this Cameo. And let's see that. Okay, it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look too bad. I think this is probably going to be the big tell of which one worked, because this card was obviously on the outskirts of the spectrum of what worked and what didn't. Let's just try and show you guys what this does. So it's obviously got a perforation in the middle, the one on the Cameo, because I was chopped with the other one. And you can fold it in half. Okay, and that's your card. But then what you do with these is you actually pull up these sections here and you fold them back. And then you actually tuck them underneath that little flap, because it's a fold tuck card. Right, so you tuck it like that. It's so much more pleasant when the Cricut is cutting than it's supposed to when the Cameo is cutting. So that's why I really like these cards. They're just so pretty. And obviously having nails really helps with these kinds of cards, because this is just so smooth. Let's actually do my nails again, because I'm getting a little bit of regrowth. Noisy, sir. And that's essentially what the card will look like when you're done. So, tuck it underneath. Facebook handles all of the admin. I follow Dinah Walke. I haven't heard of her before. Art journaling. Okay, that's probably why. Pay $5 a month and she shares extra videos and images with her supporters. It's a way you help you buy more coffee. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. I was thinking of doing a Patreon at some point. Not yet. I think maybe at some point in the future, once I've kind of gotten the hang of everything, because these things are very time consuming. So you need a lot of time to be able to put into Patreon. But I also wanted to do one-on-one calls maybe at one level. So that is what the card then looks like once you've got everything down. And then you can just take a piece of colored cardstock and put it underneath, and then it would tuck in on those corners there. So it looks really, really pretty. I've done mine with alcohol inks, so it's quite. Put the folding closer to the screen. There we go. I hope that helps. Looks pretty, hey? I really love it. Okay, now let's do the Cameo one again first. Cameo one didn't cut through. Okay, so this is the standard Cameo ATGSM cut settings. Didn't cut through at all. Barely. It would need some convincing to get through. So I would not count that as a success. Oh, you're journaling a sticker pack. Ooh, that's quite cute. Journaling. I'm a journaling sticker pack today. Okay, that's very cool. That's very cool. Okay, so number one, Cameo. Fail. Then I'm going to load on the copy paper. And I'm going to load that into the Cameo. And obviously you saw how beautifully it cut this. So it's not that the blade is dull or blunt or anything like that. The blade is beautiful. It's perfect. Let's unload. Oh, I've already unloaded it. My bad. And then let's take this one off. I'm not going to lie. I've got very high hopes for this one. Ooh. you guys. This looks amazing. That fold card was so gorgeous. I know that it's obviously all. I'm actually really stupid. I should have like changed the design of the cards, but I also kind of wanted it to be a bit even, you know, because then at least I could use them for something. So, oh wow, oh wow, oh wow, oh wow, oh wow. Oh, one little piece stayed behind. One little dang piece. But do you see what I mean about the Cricut cut versus the Cameo cut? Like, same settings, same, not necessarily the same settings, but same default, right? So, and that is how the Cricut cut versus the Cameo. So do you kind of see what I mean with regards to that one heavy paper being a fluke? Like, that's significantly different. It's quite shockingly different. Are you guys kind of shocked at the Cricut cut? Because I'm shooketh. I am shooketh. Okay, let's get all this gunk off. What do you guys think of the cut? Also, isn't this just so satisfying to do? Don't you just love this? Yeah, so I think when it comes to cutting card and things like that, this Cricut machine is working beautifully. Again, the auto blade, definitely not dull, because I've cut the other cardstock and it worked beautifully. So I definitely don't think that's the problem. I'd love to know what the problem is. Maybe like the depth isn't right or something. I'm actually going to use the other side of the Cricut mat. And I know this is definitely 21 centimeters. Oh yes, of course. I'm being such a chop. I was like measuring it on the other side of the stupid mat. And then look here. There's actually, so it's centimeters on the one side and inches on the other. Like, hello, Choppus von Choppington. A friend of mine many years ago always used to call me Miss Kelly von Choppington or something like that. It was so funny. He was hilarious. Okay, let's go quickly over to this side. I'm going to cut this with, I think it's called copy paper, medium, 20 pound. Just check that this is actually 20 pound, because it's 80 GSM. Where did my iPad go? There it is. It's 80 GSM, but let's go. Oh, I keep taking the stupid pencil out. I'm so used to it. I just want to make sure that the copy paper, I'm looking for my pencil, that's why, is 80 GSM. So I want to make sure that they're completely even. You're not happy to be impressed. Because that means that my budget is going to go real soon. I know. But the Maker 3 is coming out soon. So save up and buy yourself a Maker 3 around Black Friday. £20, 75 GSM. So this is 80 GSM. So I think for 5 GSM, we're going to risk it. Risk it for the biscuit. So I'm still going to send this one to cut as well. And then I'm going to send the Cameo at the same time. Okay, cut. And we'll also see now kind of which one starts first. Granted, that one had a few seconds head start, and that's got to cut an extra line. Pour some more champagne. It's a tiny little bottle. It's like 2 glasses of champagne, and that's it. 2 literally glasses of champagne. And look at that. A literally glass. Cheers. Oh, so you made a journaling sticker pack today. That's very cool. I'd like to see some photos of that. Sounds nice. That fold-out card was gorgeous. Make a card pack to sell for holidays. You actually mentioned that. This is probably, I don't even know if you guys can hear me because it's now like super, super loud in this joint. Oh, wow. Cameo is destroying that paper. I used to have a shop. I used to sell things. It gave me such anxiety to sell. How ironic is that, right? Most people get anxiety when they have to go like live on video like this. Oops, sorry for knocking you. Ah, much quieter now. So most people get anxiety when they have to go like live on video. I'm cool as a cucumber on video. Make me send out orders and I get like panic attacks, I get anxiety, I like completely shut down. I can't. I cannot. I don't mind doing all the design work. I don't mind doing all of the admin work. All of that kind of stuff, but don't make me send out stuff. Amazed, amazing, it really is. Really impressed, really cool. I know, it's amazing. And the Cricut is almost done. So the Cricut's a little bit slower. Okay. But let me show you this, guys. Obviously, I've got a little bit of a head start because I can see what's going on here. But, okay, we've got the Cricut. Looks good. A few tiny little places that it's come up on. And there as well. I think that was maybe just a stuck down issue. And then we have the Cameo. Look at that. That is shocking. And that's on stock standard settings. And this is why I always say test cuts. Because this is the same kind of paper that they're telling us that we should be using. And look at how shocking it looks. Okay, so let's take the Cameo, because we always want Cameo first. Let's continue with Cameo first. Ooh. Okie dokie. Save that for something else. Okay, that didn't come off very nicely. I was ready to buy a Cricut until I started using a CB09 blade. The CB09s are very nice. I'm glad that I have both. I'm very, very lucky to have been chosen as a brand ambassador, to have Cricut have sent me a maker. I desperately wanted to buy one. But I was actually, funny story, literally on the verge of buying a maker, a second-hand one. And because there'll be obviously lots of makers going second-hand very soon. So if you're not too fussed about getting the Maker 3, there'll probably be lots of makers going second-hand soon when the Maker 3 comes out. Just as an FYI. I'm going to destroy this when I take it off. Literally can't remember what I was saying. Can somebody tell me what I was saying, please? I'm too focused on this now. Now, normally what you would do is you kind of roll the mat off this. But I've already destroyed one mat by doing that. Oh god, there I broke it. This is probably also not the right kind of design to do this kind of thing on the Cameo, or maybe even on either of the machines, because copy paper is a nightmare to cut with these kinds of things. Because it just curls up, it breaks too easily. I hate cutting copy paper. I hate cutting copy paper. But I mean, it mostly worked. Mostly. My concern with the Maker 3, the magic material, no magic material. If you're still stuck with a 12 by 24, that sucks. Their material is not that great. Their materials, which material are you talking about, Cherise? Because the material, like, granted, I haven't done long-term tests on their material. I think the thing with their magic paper, it's not really magic paper. It's just got a backing to it. Vinyl has a back, or the smart, what do they call it? The smart vinyl. In all honesty, I haven't looked into it too much at this point. Just because I've been so incredibly busy with so many other different things. But let me just put the thingy on that. Just want to cover my mat to keep it sticky. I haven't really looked into it too much. So I'm not 100% sure what it is. Oh, yes. Essentially, I was about to buy a Maker, and then like 2 days later, I was waiting for payday, I think it was. And then like 2 days later, they contacted me. So they saved me quite a bit of money. This is all going to curl. Got a bit of a fright there. Whee, look at that. This is what happens. I get so easily distracted. And then I just completely forget what I was talking about. Story of my life. So, let's very gently take this off. Now again, this is probably also like a much newer mat than the Cameo. Well, it's marginally newer. So that is the problem with the new mats, is getting things like this off, because it will curl unless you take the mat off of it. But I really don't want to flip this over. I've already got Kelly hair stuck on the mat. I mean, you can technically do it like that. I'm just worried that like it would. But do you kind of see what I mean about the Cricut cuts versus the Cameo? Like the Cameo shines on materials that aren't standard. Okay, that side didn't. That was a Kelly sticky side error. So let's just give that one a quick cut there. Okay. Feathers. Okay, now I've got to be very careful because there's very. Oh, you see that tore. I hate working with paper. I don't even know why I said I would do paper. It's such a pain. Like cutting paper is great if you're doing rolled flowers, because then everything rolls for you, essentially. Okay, and that is again the Cricut cut. So you can see the difference there. Granted, neither of them did fantastically, but I think it's more got to do with the actual material type than the cutting. I mean, that was flawless again. I suppose we could probably weed it off. I know, but now I'm going to stick my hand all over the mat. Let's rather not do that. Your friend in the USA wants to send you a Cricut. That's very nice of them, but I've heard, so just be careful. I mean, granted, if it's going to be a free machine, why not? But the problem with that is the voltage is slightly different. So you would need to potentially change the voltage, and also you won't have a warranty. So if anything happens to the machine in transit, or if anything happens to the machine period, full stop, you know, you are a little bit stuffed. Oof. So matte health is important. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to put the thing back onto the mat there. Okay, put that off to the side. So now we're comparing, again, Cameo, Cricut. I'd say the Cricut still wins this one, even though they kind of... I mean, the Cricut did a far better job than the Cameo, hands down. Hands down. Like I said, just cutting paper on one of these mats is a bit of a pain. So it's not the best, because now it's like folding up. But I suppose you can always just fold the card that way. And then it won't really be a problem. So you can fold the card like that. Oh, make sure it's straight. There we go. So I'm not going to lie, I'm shocked at the first result. So the first result was Cricut versus Cameo. Okay, so the Cameo definitely won on the custom paper. Yeah, this was the Cricut, this was the Cameo. Although I don't know why that one didn't have a line down the middle. Anyway, it's fine. Then we have... Oh, this was the medium. This was the... So this is all Cricut. Okay, these three are all Cricut. And then these three... Let me just see if you can see all of that. Yes. These... Oh, I can't even show you this one because it literally didn't even cut out. So that's the 250 GSM, the slightly heavier one, and then the much lighter one. Matte lives matters. Hell yes, they do. I've got like about 100 mats here, and I've actually got them set up so nicely because I've got one of those IKEA set thingies, the wall mounts, and it's got little hooks. So my mats are actually on. I can actually show you. Let me show you. Well, I suppose you've pretty much seen it. So those are my mats. You can obviously see behind the light. Sorry. Those are my mats. So they are nicely stored away. Oh, and every time I put it back now, it's gonna... Okay, there we go. That'll just have to do it for now. Sorry, we're pretty much at the end of the stream anyway, so thank you guys. So are you guys shocked with the results, first of all? Did you guys expect that, you know, the Cameo would only win one of the three categories, essentially? So it only won on the heavy. We have one of the other cut ones here that we saw, that it cut beautifully. And then it lost on the other two categories completely. Granted, it would have cut this fine had I changed the cut settings, which is an advantage of the Cameo. But, you know, when it comes to the standard cut settings, this one won hands down, I don't count that as a win at all. There's a lot of sections where it actually didn't cut through at all because it kind of hopped over it. So, were you guys shocked? Did I order off Amazon? What do you mean? Did I order the maker? Okay, wait, hold on. Let me just see if I'm missing any comments. HTV, but this was about 2 years ago. Maybe they did upgrade it. I haven't tried their HTV. I haven't tried it yet. I've tried their adhesive vinyl, their normal adhesive vinyl, the holographic adhesive vinyl. This one is something that I'm dying to try. I think this stuff is beautiful. It's textured vinyl. I mean, I think this could look amazing in like scrapbooks and things like that. Not gonna lie, can't wait to try it. Lesson learned, no more paper. Definitely. Messed a brand new mat up with paper. All of those fibers stuck onto the mat. Yeah. Paper, especially normal copy paper, is a nightmare on a mat. Nightmare. I'm shooketh. Yay, I'm so glad you caught that. I actually got that from a colleague of mine at work. She used to say that all the time. I miss her so much. She recently left the company, so it's oh, the IKEA board. No, I was in Dublin at the beginning of last year, like literally a month before the whole illness hit the world. And I was actually in IKEA. Oh, I literally went. I went there once, and I spent a couple of hours there before I had to be at a conference. I went from the airport straight to IKEA because it was like on the way to the hotel, and then on another day I took the bus all the way back to IKEA, and I pretty much spent the whole day there. It was the most amazing thing ever. But these you can actually get off Home Sweet Home. So what I'm definitely going to do is when I keep talking like when I move into the new place, I'm not going to be moving for at least another like 2 years, but I want to get more of them because they're really great for putting things up, hanging up tools and all that kind of stuff. So I'm definitely going to get more of them, but you can get them from Home Sweet Home. If you buy them off Amazon, they're horrifically expensive. Home Sweet Home, much, much cheaper. Yeah, great. So I'm pretty much caught up on the chat now. So thank you guys, so very much for watching. At some point we'll be able to, see some like super chats in the live stream and things like that, because that'll be quite fun. I've never actually seen. You see what super chats look like from when you're watching a live stream, but I've never seen it from the other side. So one day we'll get there. I hope that you guys enjoyed this live stream. There were lots of you here, which was a lot of fun. Chatting with me the whole time, so I really enjoyed it. Really loved the interaction. My champagne is pretty much done, so I'm going to have the last sip, clean up, and then I'll probably hop into bed. So we're ending off nice and early today. Am I allowed to say the illness? I don't think so. That's why I say the illness. It's actually a joke. I watch another YouTuber, which Dre knows, Graham Stephan. Every time he talks about the illness, he always says the illness, and he never says the illness, just because he doesn't want to be hit by the algorithm, he says. So I won't say the illness. I'll say the illness, just because I'm like it's also the same as swearing on live streams or on in your YouTube videos. If you want to be family friendly content, then you won't. I say this with a glass of champagne in my hand, but like I said, I am over 18. I'm allowed to drink. No drinking for anybody under the age of 18. Anyway, I really hope that you guys had a great time. I'm going to be signing off now. Thank you so very much for joining. I'm definitely going to do another live stream in 2 weeks' time. I'm going to try and do them every second Tuesday. Or maybe I'll try and slot in one on a weekend just to kind of break it up a little bit. I know that some of you did say that you'd prefer weekdays. Some of you also said, I had a poll up on my community channel. It was either weekdays, Saturday or Sunday. And it was pretty much a tie between weekdays and Saturdays. Saturdays are always a little bit tricky because, you've got friends and things like that. But maybe now with, the third wave coming up, it'll be a little bit... We'll all be a little bit more home. So maybe we'll do another live stream on Saturday at some point. So thank you very much for joining. Have a lovely evening, and I will see you in the next video. And remember, be kind to someone today. See you soon.